Our series, A More Perfect Union, aims to show that what unites us as Americans is certainly far greater than what divides us. Maya Angelou used to always say that. President Trump has sharply reduced the number of refugees who can legally enter the United States. Next year, the cap will be 18,000. That's the lowest since Congress established the Refugee Resettlement Program back in 1980. For comparison, the U.S. resettled nearly 85,000 refugees back in 2016. So Major Garrett traveled to one state where Republicans and Democrats are putting out the welcome mat. Major, good morning to you.
Good morning, Gayle. Heavily Republican Utah has watched this decline in refugee resettlements with alarm, and it has a message for President Trump. Send us more, not fewer, refugees.
So my mom was pregnant with me and my twin sister.
Asma Daher was born in Utah after her mother fled a Kenyan refugee camp with her 3 kids in 1998. A raging civil war had forced them from their home in Somalia.
I would say Utah is the best thing that happened to our family because since we resettled here, we had countless of opportunities.
Utah is a largely conservative state, but it is also one of the most refugee-friendly. Until President Trump's election, it welcomed upwards of 1,500 refugees per year. Those numbers are down by 2/3 now.
I have reduced refugee resettlement by 85%.
Jackie Biskupski, the Democratic mayor of Salt Lake, and Michelle Kafusi, the conservative mayor of Provo, disagree on some issues, but not this one.
The refugee piece is really tender and personal to us, and it's a issue of the heart for us in Provo City.
We are a very red state, but we all agree that Utah should be a welcoming state for refugees.
Issues like this are bigger than our partisans and our parties.
In October, President Trump boasted about new executive action.
No refugees will be resettled in any city or any state without the express written consent of that city or that state.
Weeks later, Utah's Republican governor sent his reply in this letter. I encourage you to allow us to accept more international refugees in Utah.
I can tell you here in Utah, this has never been a partisan issue. Our state was settled by individuals that were fleeing religious persecution.
Utah's Republican House Speaker Brad Wilson, who supports President Trump and like the governor is Mormon, said the history of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints sustains the state's commitment to refugee resettlement.
I think it's just kind of in our DNA.
Has Utah ever felt overrun by refugees?
Not that I'm aware of.
Saw water.
Hamar Janumanya arrived in Utah in 2008. She fled violence in Burma for Thailand when she was 13.
How did you get from Burma to Thailand?
19 days I have to get Thailand. We walking.
Walking?
Yes.
She became a U.S. citizen in 2013 and, helped by a program for immigrant and refugee entrepreneurs, now owns her own Burmese Thai restaurant.
We're not trying to bring refugees here to take on our low-wage paying jobs either. We are putting them on career paths.
They are some of the most hardworking, dedicated people you'll ever meet, and that's what I would hope that President Trump would see.
Hi, guys!
The mayors also hope President Trump would see what Asma Daher is doing now. She's a public health major at Westminster College in Salt Lake City and plans to become a physician assistant.
Yeah, I speak Somali.
And she volunteers with newly arrived refugees, hoping to pay forward the opportunities she's
Are
had.
you gonna go to college? Yeah. Yeah? Do you know what you want to be? I feel like it's a cycle where younger folks who raise in Utah have the ability to become successful, and then they want to reciprocate that with future generations.
States and cities have until Christmas Day to tell the federal government whether they plan to continue welcoming refugees. Anthony?
Major, thank you. So great to see the cooperation there on that issue.
Utah's an amazing state.
It really is.
Yeah.